What company will you never trust again? Nabisco. They took double-stuffed Oreos, reduced the amount of cream to the same as the regular Oreos, and are still selling them as double-stuffed, and are charging double-stuffed prices. The betrayal is unforgivable. Airbnb. Wells Fargo. I see no reason to trust any company. Any insurance company, especially health and homeowners. Ashley Furniture. Joke of a company. Bank of America. Also scum. Unfurls paper scroll that stretches to the floor and rolls out the door. Ahem. Comcast. Their agents will lie to your face and act like you're in the wrong when called out. Comcast is legit the scummiest business I've interacted with. What is a fun psychological trick to try on someone? I used to work with a guy who was super opinionated about everything. He would die on every single hill, usually for the stupidest reasons. Like, everyone in the room would agree our next meeting should be Tuesday at 3 p.m. He would grind the entire process to a halt, single-handedly arguing that the next meeting should be Tuesday at 3:15 p.m. He'd dig his heels in and argue until it wore everyone down and we did it his way. Whenever he was called out for it, he justified it by saying he was a person of strong conviction and that he would always speak up for what he believed. I started getting ahead of it by crediting him for ideas he didn't have. So in the example I just gave, I'd chime in first and say, Brent and I were talking earlier and I liked his idea of meeting at 3 p.m. Or I would say, Brent had an interesting idea, and I would go on to share my idea as if Brent had told me. He always looked really confused, but he never argued. Redditors who don't drink alcohol, what are your reasons for not drinking? I was a social drinker. I no longer socialize. I'm a recovering alcoholic, so there's that. It tastes bad. I'm convinced everyone else is faking it. I prefer the feeling of staying sober. It tastes bad. It damages the body. I feel mentally worse after even a single drink. It's bad for your skin. It accelerates aging. It's expensive. Not many reasons for me to drink, really. Edit. Grammar. My dad is an alcoholic. I'm afraid to be like him. Edit. Some of y'all think I'm afraid to be a dad. No bro, I afraid to be like my dad. Sleep. If I have as little as 1 glass of wine, I do not sleep well and I wake up early. When you have kids, you need all the sleep you can get. What is a struggle that men face that women wouldn't understand? We have little to no control over what our dicks do. An erection isn't consent or support, and flaccid isn't a sign of disinterest. People being scared if we show any negative emotion whatsoever. Sideways glances whenever we interact with children. Getting an erection out of nowhere and being scared someone's gonna see you and think you're a perv even though you're not even aroused. Or blood just took a wrong turn and ended up where it should nt. Thankfully no one can see my erections cause it's so SMA. 'Cause I hide it very well after all these years of practice. If I'm too amiable with or around children, folks will assume I'm some kind of creep. What's a video game that no one but you seems to remember? Freddy Fish? A PC game we used to play all the time. Same with Putt Putt Saves the Zoo or something like that. Scoops. It was a game where you stacked ice cream, and tried to avoid onions and tomatoes. Not sure if it's been said yet, but remember the cereal box CD games we used to get? Goofy's skateboarding demo CD was the shit. Me and my cousin killed hours on that demo game. Lords of the Realm 2. Came out in 1996 and I still play it. You are fat and ugly and your mother dresses you funny, was one the default insults I remember you can send to enemies. Plant Tycoon. It was this weird little real-time plant growing and crossbreeding simulator that came out before there were app marketplaces. If you did your crossbreeds right you could unlock legendary plants.